spec-driven developments help AI here to plan things before doing implementation. And the two biggest spec-driven development frameworks out there are Superpowers and GSD. And people are talking about this over a month on which one is actually better. So today we're going to put them into a test on the same existing code base and figure out which one is better. Alright, so let's take a look at what we're going to cover in this video. So right here you can see we have a brownfield project, which is a food ordering system. And what I want to do here is to add a feature onto this project, which is to increase the end-to-end testing coverage. And I have everything down into a requirements file using the GStack here to help me to brainstorm. So then what I did here is basically having the Git worktree here to divide the current project into two environments here. One environment using Superpowers and the other one is using GSD. And both environment here is going to follow the requirements here to adding this feature onto this brownfield project. And the goal for this is we want to see which framework here is the best, has the best accuracy. We're going to use a large language model here to evaluate that. And then we're also going to take a look at which framework that can take less token consumption for executing this task. And overall, which model here or which framework here is the best for guiding our coding agent here on the right path. So with that being said, if that sounds interesting, let's get into this. Now, before we continue, I recently launched our school community where I help you to master AI agents, automations, and so much more. And that's all coming from someone who used to work as a senior AI software engineer at companies like Amazon and Microsoft. And in this community, you're going to get over 100 plus video materials like templates and workflows that I personally built and sold over 100 plus times. On top of that, you're also going to get access to our weekly live calls. And just to give you an idea, this week, we're actually running a Claude Code masterclass where we're going to dive into how to improve Claude Code's accuracy when we're going to use it to building applications. Plus, you're also going to get full community supports where you're going to get a chance to ask questions and get direct answers back. So if you're ready to level up, make sure to jump right in and I'll see you in a community. Alright, so to get started, first let's take a look at Superpower. So right here you can see this is the entire plan that we're going to execute for Superpower in its own separate worktree. So right here you can see this is the reference spec. And I created this using GStack, which I already mentioned this before. But if you're curious about what GStack is, what is Superpower, and also what is GSD, make sure to check out this video right here. In that video, we dive deep into what each of them are, give you a clear comparison of what each of them does and why we should use it and what are the benefits it gets. But for this video, we're just going to compare the difference between the Superpower and also GSD in terms of which one is the best for building features on a brownfield project. So right here you can see this is the steps we're going to take for Superpower. So first of all, we're going to using the Git worktree skill from Superpower here to create a isolate environment. Then we're going to create the plan for implementation, using the test-driven development here to create the test first before we're going to do the development and the implementation. And finally, we're going to use the dispatch parallel agent here to do the implementation, which you can see here. And furthermore, we also have verification and code review from the Superpower. And finally, we're going to wrap everything up and be able to create its own separate branch. And eventually at the end, we're going to compare those two branches and see which one has the highest accuracy. All right, so now you can see I have gone ahead here and basically execute that plan. And now you can see that we currently have completed everything from the Superpower plan. So you can see that all 6 stages are all completed. These are the skills that are being used and the status that we have for each stage. And notice here that one of the stages that we have is verification. And that one is partial complete because we're only running the local test instead of the actual end-to-end testing. And for the actual end-to-end testing, I will make sure to run this in a clear terminal session here and here, which I'll show you next. But you can clearly see that for the entire developing, planning, and test-driven developments, here you can see this is the total token consumptions that has took for following the entire Superpower workflow for developing this feature on this worktree. So now what I want to talk about is basically try to run the entire end-to-end testing and see if it actually really works. How many tests we have created, what is the test coverage look like, and is there any bugs that we have catch in our applications using this end-to-end test approach. So in this case, let's take a look at this next. So now what I did here is basically go ahead and run the entire end-to-end testing for the entire application. And here you can see we have 103 tests passed and 4 of them skipped. Pretty much you can see we have a total of 107 tests. And then furthermore, I basically have it to generate the entire test reports to show me exactly what it looks like. So it gives you a deep dive on the test counts by categories. So each page here, these are the tests we have run on the UI and also the API and things like this, and total how many tests we got. So here is what the total test coverage look like. So right here you can see we have 103 tests, 4 of them skipped by design, and total we have 107 tests. And furthermore, there's the functional coverage by page. So how much test coverage we have added per page. So for customers page, you can see we are 90% covered. And for the orders page, we are 78% covered, and so on and so much more, right? So if we were to scroll down, it gives you a total test coverage for the entire application. So overall functional coverage here, we're sitting at 43 out of 94 features. So So out of all the 94 features in this applications, we have only covered 43 features, and that's roughly around 46%. And here you can see these are the top covered pages, right? For example, the off page, region page, navigation, customer page, and the subscription. And bottom 4 uncovered here you can see, and here is what it is. And furthermore, while running the end-to-end testing, it has also encountered some bugs that we have fixed along the way. So for example, these are the bugs that we have found. For example, sidebar selections, the region button here, right? And also some of the buttons here for the lookup in the table rows instead of detailed dialogues, it also has been fixed. So most of them from the consumer page, some from the orders and the off page. So you can see that these are all fixed. So roughly around 10 bugs are being fixed along the way, which actually found more bugs than GSD, but the test coverage here is quite lower compared to GSD, which I'll be showing you the result for GSD in a second.
Before we jump into the next part, I want to quickly show you something I've been using while building some of my projects. So if you've ever used AI to generate code, you've probably noticed it works, but it also breaks in ways you don't always catch right away. That's basically where TestSprite comes in. It's an AI testing agent that goes through your app, figures out what it's supposed to do, and then checks if everything actually works the way it should. Now, what's changed recently is how it fits into your workflow. So I'm inside Cursor here, and through their MCP integration, it's not something I run separately. I can generate code, test it, fix things, and rerun everything right here in the IDE, which makes it feel way more natural when you're iterating. Where it gets really useful is when you start changing stuff. So let's say I update part of the logic. Instead of just running the same test again, it actually rechecks the flow and catches new issues that come from those changes. That's a big deal because most setups don't really handle that well once you start iterating. And if a test isn't quite right, you can actually edit it visually instead of digging through a bunch of test code. So I can click into a step, adjust what it's checking, or regenerate part of the flow, and keep everything else intact, which makes it a lot easier to control what's actually being tested. On top of that, they also added GitHub integration. So whenever you push changes, it runs tests on your pull request and shows you exactly what passed or failed before you merge anything. It basically acts like a safety check so you don't accidentally ship something broken. Also, quick mention, they're running a hackathon right now with a $3,000 prize pool. So if you're building anything or just experimenting with AI projects, it's actually a pretty fun way to try this out. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check it out. Okay, now let's get back into the video.
All right, so let's take a look at the next one, which is GSD. And here is the entire prompts, the entire steps that I follow to execute this step by step. Now, you can see here that on the right, I have already executed this from step 0 all the way to step 9. And for each one here, it's going to execute one GSD step one at a time in the new terminal session. And basically, to give you a rundown on exactly how it works, yes, it's going to use the same spec file here to create the plan, execution, and the test. But you can see here that the first step is basically try to create a work tree. Now, GSD doesn't have its own skill to create a work tree, so I'm just going to borrow that from the Superpower here to create its own work tree. Then we're going to initialize the GSD project, try to follow the spec here that we created. And we're just trying to keep the roadmap here, try to be minimum, one milestone, one phase only, and that's it. And after that's done for creating the projects, we're then using the GSD plan phase here to plan the entire phase on what are the tasks we're going to do. And we actually break it down into two plans. One is the infrastructure and the other one is the critical path tests, which is different compared to Superpower because Superpower just defined one single plan following the test-driven development here, and that's basically it, right? But you can see that for GSD here, is try to break it down into multiple plans and have each plan here to be executed in different sessions. And that's basically the goal for GSD, is try to stay under the 50% context window every single time when we try to use it. And then follow that, we're also going to execute the entire phase 1 here for the two plans, so the infrastructure and also the tests using different sub-agents. And then after that's done, we're also going to use a new Claude Code session here. You can see GSD4. Basically try to do the code review for the things that it has done. And then follow that, we're also going to do the auto fix, see if there's any things needs to fix, and validation phase, as well as the verification. Then we also have the secure phase here, which will try to run a security audit to verify the security migration. And then after that's done, we also have the extract learning, which is a skill that is inside of GSD to extract any learnings, any lessons, decisions, patterns that you see from the entire state conversation, and try to extract it out so that in the future, when we try to run a new Claude Code session, try to build another project, we can be able to look through the learnings and see if there's anything that we can adapt, that we can be able to make a smart decision on, And this is really powerful from GSD. And finally, the last step here we have is just manual verification. Try to run the entire end-to-end test and see if it actually really works. So here you can see I basically gone ahead and run the entire end-to-end testing, and this is what the report looked like. So you can see here that we have 110 tests, 102 are passed, 8 of them are skips, and it currently took around 2 minutes here for the runtime. And if we want to look at the test count by page and feature, you can see that these are the test counts. And furthermore, we also see the functional coverage for the pages. So similar to the Superpowers here, we have 100% for the logins, 90% for the customers, and 80% for the orders, which will give us the overall functional test coverage 53%, which is actually a bit higher compared to the one that we got from the Superpowers, which I think was like 46% or something. And along the way, you can see we also have fixed a couple bugs for the orders page and also the server for the application. So total 4 bugs being fixed, 43% for test coverage. And then compare that with the Superpowers, we have 10 bugs being fixed and the total test coverage is 46%. All right, so now let's get to the fun part. GSD versus Superpowers. Which one is the best? So now for context here, both frameworks were tasked with the same goal, adding the end-to-end testing infrastructures to these applications. So for final test results, they're all very similar. Superpower here probably slightly better because there's 1 test passing and few skipped. And in terms of the commits here, you can see GSD actually commits more compared to Superpowers. So I would say maybe Superpower is the winner here because Superpowers commit less. And then furthermore, the difference here you can see for planning artifacts, GSD commits more planning compared to the Superpowers because, like I said, right, we need to keep track of the states. We need to have each context window here to be less than 50%. And that's pretty much why we want to commit more artifacts here. And in terms of the fixed cycles, here you can see GSD here has 2 major fixed cycles. Superpower here had just only 1 to get everything working. So pretty much the winner here is probably the Superpowers here. And then the code quality gates here, I would definitely say GSD is better. You can see the code review, UAT, validation, security is probably definitely a lot more better compared to the Superpower, which GSD wins here. Database, both valid, different trade-offs here. And the token consumption, that's the big part. You can clearly see that GSD is probably 5 to 7 times higher compared to using the Superpowers. So definitely Superpower win on this one. Superpower deliver marginally better testing results with 5 times less token consumptions and 3 times fewer iterations. GSD here produced vastly more documentations, quality artifacts, but at a significant cost. So now if we were to put together what each framework does, like we mentioned, GSD spin up different research agent here to do research, gather the requirements, do the planning, then eventually it's going to do the code review, fix any security, any validations, final fixes, and learning documentations. So roughly around 16 commits, really heavy for the upfront planning, multiple quality gates, and the extensive documentation trial. Superpower here is really lightweight, and you can see it's focusing on the infrastructure, critical test pass, and also using the integration here, code review fix, and also some additional fixes here, which is just only takes 1 round, and the final resolution. So you can see total 16 commits. Because the code introduced for Superpower here is less, no wonder why you can see the rounds for the iteration for Superpower here is a lot less. But you can see this is the difference between Superpower and GSD for the workflow. And in terms of the accuracy for correctiveness, both of them implement essentially the same architecture. But where GSD was more thorough is about the security, about the protection, about the UAT and analysis. And where Superpower was more practical is able to choose local database over the remote database for testing, better final numbers, fewer skip tests, and the single fix cycle. Is able to go green faster with less trashing. So pretty much the accuracy is probably a tie with some trade-off in between. And in terms of token consumption, we can clearly see that Superpower here is consumed less token compared to GSD, and that's a no-brainer. But the way how GSD spend their token, you can clearly see that only 25% of GSD token went to the actual code, but the rest actually went to like the research, planning, validation, all those kind of things. And now here you can see where Superpowers spent for the tokens is 60 to 70% for implementation, 20 to 30% for the fix, and 10% for the code review response. So you can see that the Superpower here is more token efficient for the same deliverables. All right, so finally, let's get to the bottom of this final scorecard. So based on the scorecard, you can see different categories. We have different weights. So test accuracy here, you can see GSD 8 out of 10, Superpowers 9 out of 10 because better pass rates. And for token efficiency, Superpower here is 5 to 7 times more efficient compared to GSD. Code quality, GSD is bigger than the Superpowers. And maintainability, you can see that Superpowers is the winner because it has a cleaner Git history and less noise. Innovation here, you can see, PG Lite was a smart call, right? Using the local database here to test by calling the remote database. That's probably a smarter way. So overall, you can see the Superpower wins overall. And just to recap, if we come back, Superpower here has better accuracy compared to GSD, less token consumptions, and overall, Superpower here is probably the best option between the two for this type of project. So pretty much that's it for this video, and if you do film out in this video, please make sure to like this video, consider subscribe for more content like this, and of course, if you're looking to learn more about spec-driven developments, and you are looking to expand your knowledge for spec-driven developments, make sure to check out this entire playlist. But with that being said, I'll see you in the next video.